today. From Los Angeles, California, it's week 1 of the NFL preseason on EA Sports. It's the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time. But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
Two former division rivals in the old AFC West, the Seahawks and Chargers, are underway. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Chargers coming out to take over, and it is Justin Herbert at quarterback, CD, now in his 5th NFL campaign.
And he's looking to bounce back after an injury-riddled season a year ago. Herbert, obviously one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, but that doesn't do you any good when you're standing on the sidelines wearing a baseball cap. If this team's ever going to reach their full potential, they've got to find a way to keep him upright. And with his new head coach, Jim Harbaugh, in the fold, they'll do exactly that. They'll have a chance to win a lot of games with Justin Herbert on the field.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Herbert now. They set up the screen for Dobbins.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss, because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Herbert. That ball caught by the rookie from Georgia. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A shotgun snap and again to Dobbins. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Herbert. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. They'll run with Dobbins. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Lad McConkey, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now a 7-0 game. 7-0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. The Seahawks set to go on offense here, and it is the Pro Bowler Geno Smith at quarterback, Charles, in his 12th NFL season.
And Smith continues to show that his career resurgence hasn't been some fluke. He's brought a level of maturity, stability, and good play that allows him to compete with any team on any given week. The real question is whether or not he can become a championship caliber quarterback. Only time will tell, but for now, he's done enough to give this franchise reason to believe they can certainly get the job done.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Geno. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a draw play. It's Walker. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And going right back to Walker. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now to the ground, here's Walker. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage. near midfield at the 49. Joey Bosa, so strong, able to fight his way in there to make the play.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Geno now to throw. To the catch. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but there's ever a good time to do it.
Preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. And just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. Fighting through, and he's got space. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Again, it's Walker. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. That's complete right around the 8. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, obviously no panic in them. They gave up the touchdown. You know, their defensive side did that. But he's already taken them back downfield. I love this field general that they've got. It's almost like he went to the defensive captain and said, don't worry about it. We've got you. Now they got 1st and goal.
Yeah, we're seeing punch, counter punch, and this could be setting the table for quite the game.
I like that. Let's go ahead and put it in the boxing ring, right? You're going to get hit sometimes. Can you respond and hit back? And they're trying to do exactly that.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Touchdown! Noah Fant, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Now fourth down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. High throw, but the catch is made. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Love the play call that time. Love the design. You put 3 tight ends on the field. That screams jumbo set, running formation to a defense, right? No, they go play action, and defense gets confused for just a split second. And next thing you know, completion for good yardage.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now Geno. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
But there is a certainty in this game. We know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And picked up by the... And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Down to the 10, and he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point try now from Dicker. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A first catch of the ball game there for Metcalf, and a first down to boot.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to throw, Smith.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Smith.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away.
Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis.
And it's taken in at the 9.
So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
They'll try the draw here with Dobbins. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A big play there for L.A. 55 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A shotgun snap for Herbert. To the left side, he's got McConkey. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. 15 yards there for number 15.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
On 3rd down, Heineke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions and what was once a nice drive stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff running through the middle.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
And Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They've got some guys who might need a year or two on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
This time they'll throw it with Howell. Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Powell. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Powell throwing on 3rd down here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Heineke to throw it. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
Here's Heineke. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. And the return will stop right around the 25. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a 1st down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Seahawks are back within a score. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
The extra point now coming from Myers. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. L.A. set to take over again on offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Heineke. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So that now back-to-back drive, CD, that have ended with an interception.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'd call my quarterback over, put an arm around him, and say, hey, take a look at the scoreboard. We're playing with a lead. Let's be smarter about what we're doing out there.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
That'll be caught by Bobo. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second down, Howell now.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On third down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Sort of interesting going with a draw play there. Do you like that call?
I don't, but it would be a lot more powerful coming from me if I'd said it before the play actually happened, if I'd first guessed it. But look, a draw in that situation, heavy risk reward. If he walks in, it looks like a great call, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead brings up a tough 4th down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Myers' kick is good, and that will tie things at 17 all.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Taylor Heineke in the offense heading back out. He's been picked off twice in this ball game already, and they'll try to sort things out here as they begin with a first down. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Good footwork at the 30. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Edwards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the counter, it's Edwards, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Heineke. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and 6 now. Out of the gun, it's Howell. And his throw here's incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a 2nd down throw for Heineke. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a 1st down. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Heineke now on 2nd down.
He'll throw complete to Gus Edwards. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right and then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
First carry of the game for Hassan Haskins.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2nd down, Heineke.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown.
Jalen Reagor
with an acrobatic catch. And the Chargers are going to take the lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And they will take a 7-point lead. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Now he'll look to throw it. Open man, there's Bobo.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Seattle.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Al down to throw it. Open man is Barner, the tight end. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Third and 2. Howell from the gun. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw, Heineke.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Heineke from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
On the give, it's Vidal.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Heineke.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
This is 2nd and 8. Now Howell.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Young. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
3rd and 4. Throwing here, Howell.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Now Heineke.
That'll be caught. It's Rager.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, he's certainly trying to earn his way into some more looks in the offense once the regular season heats up. If he continues to make plays like that, I think QB1 will look his way a little more often once the regular season begins.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Howell. He finds his man, complete. It's Young. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ballgame.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range. One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't. But he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Haskins. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down.
Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence. And you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Edwards.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Heineke now.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing. Heineke. He's got his target. That's complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the draw is Edwards. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Heineke's throw here on target to Hurst.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Rager, the man in motion. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run with Vidal. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Hayden Hurst from 3 yards out. And the Chargers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead now up to 14. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. And out now come the Seahawks. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Howell. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. In on the tackle is the lineman, Perrion Winfrey.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And Howe will throw it. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 26. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Now a toss here, short side. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Faking the handoff. Howell. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So the call there, roughing the passer.
Well, the preseason's time for working out the kinks, but sometimes you've got some defenders who are too eager to impress, trying to make this team. And that time we saw one take a shot at the quarterback way too late.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Howell to throw on second down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Derek Young, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the handoff, Edwards. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 72 yards on the ground so far for Edwards. It's a first down. The interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Second down, Howell back to pass. Quick throw there is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Howell out of the shotgun. That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 28. A good pickup there at 22.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
They'll try to run this one in. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jalen darted from a yard out. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fights loose. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Edwards, nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll drop to throw.
And quickly finding Rager.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. Now a run with Edwards. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 8.
Looking to throw.
This ball complete to Rager.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 24-yard line. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a 1st down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Now it's Edwards. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
From the 16,
Heineke.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns.
And the Seahawks are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
127 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Howell. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 42. 19 yards that time for number 19.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 7. The play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Tui Pelotu from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on third down. Back to throw. Howell.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12.
He was brought down there by Julian Love.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Edwards. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Heineke to throw it.
He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst.
And he takes a pop at the end of that one. It'll be a gain of about 4.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away and trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Now they go play action with Howell. And that's going to be incomplete.
Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Derwin James with a pick. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Rager, the man in motion. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Now Heineke.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Gus Edwards
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Chargers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Brown. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
This time they'll throw it with Howell. They'll get this complete to the tight end Barner.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 41-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
2nd down, Howell now. And that one almost intercepted. Could have been his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Howell throwing on 3rd down here.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Chargers getting set to go.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage.
And now here's another interception.
Picked by Julian Love.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Possession switching back now to the Chargers. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Heineke now on second down. And that's complete to Davis.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
A lot on the line here, even for just a preseason game. Jobs to be won and lost. It's third down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return.
The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Howell. Into the hands of Darden.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Now remember now, no overtime here in the preseason, so in a tie game, this ought to be a fight to the finish.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
They'll come up now on second down.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Powell to throw.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line.
And he's taken down, and that'll get him a little bit closer. Every yard at this point will help your field goal kicker out. Powell, he'll look to throw it.
And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture? That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Myers connects on the PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
So the Chargers now down by 7, 30 seconds to go.
They've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. He's back to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.